We are here ready for the final Valor Christian softball game. Depending on the outcome of this game, they may find themselves in the playoffs. Valor Christian comes in 7-8-1, and they are playing the Cheyenne Mountain Indians, who come in at 10-7-1. We'll be back here on the Valor Sports Network. We are live here from Valor Softball Field for the Valor Christian matchup against the Cheyenne Mountain Indians. I'm Landon Troca alongside Matt Fontenot, and we should be in for a good one.
Yep, that's the case here today. We come into a big game here with playoff implications for both teams, especially for the Eagles here, as if they win this game, they will make it to the regionals, and if they do not, they will be eliminated.
Yeah, Cheyenne Mountain finds itself in a similar situation. They both kind of – Cheyenne Mountain's actually situated as the last team in. to the playoffs right now, and Valor Christian is one of the last ones in. But if Valor loses this and goes out on a 3-game losing streak, it is unlikely that they will find their way into the postseason. And there are teams that are waiting just on the edges to get in. So it's an important game for both sides, and we should really see a pretty evenly matched fight here.
We see number 14, the freshman Zanny Kinder, on the mound for the Eagles.
She's had an exceptional year so far. She's been their #1 starter as only a freshman. She throws the ball pretty hard, but also has a lot of movement on her pitches. So it's really tough to get a hold of her. And we got a pretty young team out there for Valor Christian, but they're poised to make a playoff run. And we should be getting ready for first pitch here. And the leadoff hitter is Bridget Gleason, the shortstop, number 10, a sophomore for the Cheyenne Mountain Indians.
She's one of their top performers on the season, coming into this game hitting .489, which is a very impressive number, with 52 plate appearances. So a pretty solid body of work here late in the season, and she's really performing well. We see her with 3 triples on the season, which is the lead in that category.
She's also been on the mound a couple times, and she has an ERA of 2.74, although I don't believe we'll see her out there today. We probably will see Atkins.
Yeah, they have Atkins penciled in the lineup, so we'll see her in the circle for Cheyenne Mountain today.
She's done a good job, an ERA of 4.29, a record of 8-6 on the year. And we'll see what's in store for us here as she swings through that pitch to bring it to 1-2.
Good job from Kinder, changing eye levels there, getting the ball up in the zone and getting the hitter to swing through the pitch. And there's the punch out from Kinder as the Valor Eagles throw it around.
That's an important first out because if Gleason gets on base, she's 7 for 7 on stolen bases this year. And that's something that Cheyenne Mountain's done exceptionally well. They are 18 for 19 on the year, only being thrown out once.
Yeah, that's an exceptional number. It's really important to be able to move yourself into scoring position and get runners in a position where hitters can drive them in.
As this is popped foul down the right field line. That's Dominique Shells in right for Valor Christian.
We see Catherine Gleason doing the catching tonight for Cheyenne Mountain at the plate today.
She is, we assume, the sister of Bridget Gleason.
Perhaps a cousin.
But 1 year older. She's a junior. The Indians are coming off a 16-4 win over the Fighting Falcons from Falcon.
Yeah, it's a good win for them. We'll carry some momentum into this game. And we see Gleason here not performing quite as well as her sister on the season, but still hitting .431, which is very impressive.
So 2-1 count here. And Kinder delivers that. That'll be a ball.
Yeah, that pitch was well high. Sometimes you want to get the hitter to try to chase out of the zone, but that was just too far.
And that will be high as well, so she'll take her base. She's 4 for 4 on the year for stolen bases, so Cheyenne Mountain might want to get a little something going. They might see a hit and run action or a bunt and run or something along those lines.
We see number 12, the pitcher, Aspen Atkins, coming to the plate now. She's hitting .371 on the season.
It is a team, they're hitting .343, so that's very respectable. And that'll be a ball.
Atkins with a 4.29 ERA also. So not overwhelming, but a respectable statistic. She's 8-6 on the season with 17 appearances, and she by far leads the team in that category. So it seems like she's pretty much their ace, but she's not an overwhelming pitcher.
And that'll be a ball as well, so Kinder is on a little bit of a cold streak. Needs to find her way back into the zone.
Sure, get a feel for what's going on here and really find the strike zone.
She gets this pitch in there, and that'll be high as well. So 3-0. And Kinder finds herself in a big hole to try to work out of.
Saw Murray with an attempt at a back pick at first base there, but no such luck as Gleason gets back in plenty of time.
That pitch will be high again, so a 4-pitch walk, and now runners on second and first with one out.
Maybe some jitters here from Kinder, as this is such an important performance for her, as it really has such huge playoff implications. So we see her struggling a little bit early finding the strike zone, but we'll see if she gets a little bit more comfortable as the game progresses and settles in.
Yeah, hopefully she can come in with a strike right off the bat, because probably the Cheyenne Mountain hitter, after seeing those 6 balls in a row, is just going to wait for a strike to come and take it before really trying to go after anything. So finding yourself up 0-1 here, get yourself some momentum and give yourself a chance with the hitter, and that is number 31, Madeline Cockrell, the third baseman, and that's going to be high. So 1-0, and Kinder is having a little bit of trouble here in the first inning.
That's 7 straight balls from Kinder, and as a pitcher, you want the hitter to think that you're in command and be intimidated up there at the plate. And if you're not finding the strike zone, that's hard to do. It's hard to establish as a pitcher and really strike fear into the hitters.
And that's ball 2 on Cockrell.
That brings the count to 2-1. As we saw Cockrell swing through a pitch earlier in the at-bat.
And that'll be strike 2. A little bit of a late call there. So 2-2.
A good pitch there at the knees from Kinder. Painted the outside corner.
And that'll dip out of the zone. Good pitch. Try to get it to chase.
That's a pitcher's pitch bat down there below the knees, trying to get the hitter to chase. Very good pitch from Kinder, but just below the strike zone.
And now we'll see the payoff pitch here, and she's going to get her to swing through it. So 2 walks and 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Kinder. A little bit of inconsistency, but effective enough so far. And now we're going to see Simple, the first baseman.
And her brother actually plays for the baseball team, plays first base for the Cheyenne Mountain baseball team. An interesting fact for you.
And so Kinder has her chance here to either get out of the inning with little damage or find herself down a run if we can see a base hit here, and that's going to be high. So 1-0.
And
2-0, excuse me.
She's really struggling to find the strike zone. She's missing high a lot, and she really needs to find a groove here, settle in.
That's high. Gets her to swing through it.
Pitching, a lot of pitching is about rhythm and finding your timing, and she's struggling here to do that so far early.
Yeah, she's done enough, but it's really been inconsistent. But if she gets in a groove, we've seen that these Cheyenne Mountain hitters are going to have a tough time with it. And that'll be high. So 3-1, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, or excuse me, the top of the first inning. And that'll be low. So bases loaded here for Cheyenne Mountain. They have a chance to put some runs on the board and find themselves with an early lead.
As we will see number 6, Kia Fields, the right fielder, step up to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Fields is batting .317 on the year. So she's done a good job so far with 12 RBIs. We'll see if she can bring some more around here.
Yeah, good job in the middle of the lineup, knocking some runs in and really producing for the Cheyenne Mountain team.
And that'll be another high pitch for Kinder. So 2-0, and she again finds herself in a tough situation.
She's been behind almost every Cheyenne Mountain hitter, And it's really hard to pitch like that, to come from behind on almost every hitter. You want to start out with a strike and get ahead of the hitter so you can control the at-bat as opposed to letting the hitter control the at-bat.
And that'll be a chest-high fastball swung through, so 2-1.
These Cheyenne Mountain hitters have done a great job being patient and really making Kinder try to throw their pitch.
And that'll go for strike 2. So now 2-2-2, bases loaded. And we'll see what's going to happen next. This is a great opportunity for the Cheyenne Mountain Indians to, come out firing and get something going. And Kender strikes her out, so Kender strikes out the side. However, walks three in the process, and we'll send it down to Chase Smith to get an update on some of her pitching in terms of speed. So we apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll try to bring you that after this inning, and we'll get a little bit of an update on both pitchers. But 0 runs on 0 hits through the first half of the first inning. And you're watching the Valor Sports Network. We are back here on the Valor Sports Network, bottom of the first inning. Valor Christian has its first chance at Atkins right now, the junior pitcher from Cheyenne Mountain. We're going to see Kendall Oman, the speedy shortstop, up to bat. And that first pitch will go for a strike. So 0-1 right off the bat. Good first pitch there from Atkins.
And as Landon was saying, Kendall Oman with great speed on the base path, 9 for 9 on stolen bases this season. Is she's really a threat when she gets on base to take that extra base and get herself into scoring position.
So that's going to be strike 2. So Oman in a hole to lead off the game for the Eagles.
Oman batting .396, a very respectable average.
And this sophomore, part of the big sophomore class within the softball program.
That ball brings the count to 1-2 on Oman.
And now we're going to see that slapped foul off to the left.
Good job keeping the at-bat alive there, really trying to see another pitch. And the deeper you get into a count, the more pitches you see, the more likely you are to square something up and get a base hit. So good job battling there by Oman. And we'll see.
And that's going to be hit towards the gap, and it'll be down. Oh, and over the center fielder's head, so Oman will find herself on 2 there.
Yeah, she stands up easily on second. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we had something on here, try to get her to third, so a fly ball score.
Shelby Mann hitting .418 on the year. She's going to be up second.
Yeah, she's leading the team with that batting average, and she's just a sophomore here, so she's got 2 more years after this, and she has a very bright future in the program.
So
See her with 17 RBIs coming from the
2-hole.
The 2-hole, so.
And a home run, so a little bit of power. And both of those pitches are inside, and we'll see Omen make her break. Good job of seeing that ball squirt by and get on to third base. So Valor Christian with a chance to get a lead here. No outs with a runner on third. The umpire adjusting his headwear.
We'll see a 1-1 pitch here from Aspen Atkins.
And that's swung through by Mann, so now 1-2. Same count that we saw Omen get her hit on. And when you're up in the count as a pitcher like that, you really don't want to give hitters anything to hit too hard.
2-strike hits are a pitcher's nightmare, especially when you're way ahead in the count.
And that's well behind Mann, and Omen's going to take home.
A good ricochet for the catcher off the backstop there. Thought they might have a chance, but Omen's just too quick and swipes home.
And the catcher having some words with the first baseman there. Didn't seem too pleased, but Valor Christian goes up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first in this crucial play-in game, or what is a de facto play-in game. And now we're going to see Cheyenne Mountain's coach head out to the mound and talk it over. A bit early in the game, but maybe just trying to go over some defensive stuff with his infield.
We see the outfielders also casually deciding whether or not they should gather. And they will gather as well.
And the coach walks off. The players are going to have a little bit of a discussion around the mound, but the circle. But no outs and a 2-2 count for Mann with no one on, so we'll see if she can keep this Valor Christian rally going. We know right now that Valor Christian's golf team at the state tournament is in the midst of a playoff for the state championship. And it's Valor Christian's 4 players against someone's 3 players.
And the highest Valor Christian score actually gets dropped to make it an even 3-on-3, which is an advantage for the Eagles, because if you get one outlier, really poor player that just messes up in the playoff, you can drop the score.
So they're playing Pueblo South.
As we see the walk here for Mann, will bring up number 10, Jordy Roberts, the senior first baseman.
So if Valor Christian wins that golf championship, it'll be their third in the last 4 years and their second in a row with an exceptional golf program here at Valor Christian.
That pitch misses just low to bring the count to 1-1 on Roberts.
Excuse me, we were runner-up last year, but Wyndham Clark won the individual state championship, and he's off at Oklahoma State at one of the top golf programs in the country, and he's doing a great job for them and loving it so far. So all the best to him. But we find softball in it with a chance to make the playoffs for the first time.
We see a ball high there, brings the count to 2-1. Good hitting count for
that's
Roberts.
A strike.
And now we see a 2-2 count.
And
we see these Valor hitters really working counts, getting deep in counts, trying to see a lot of pitches. They're doing a good job of that so far.
And that last pitch seemed like the pitch to hit, but now we're going to find full count here. And Atkins is struggling a little bit with 1 walk and 1 hit given up.
We might see Mann get a head start here.
And Mann will take a normal lead as that's fouled backwards. So we see that the senior, one of the biggest contributors as well as a leader in Jordy Roberts, is fighting well here, and she's right on that pitch.
Yeah, squared that one up, hit it right back against the backstop, right on time with it.
Ooh, she was on that, but it gets by her, so she will go down swinging.
Just swung over that one, and that strikeout will bring up the pitcher, number 14, freshman Zanny Kinder.
Still a quality at bat, though, which is something that both the baseball program and the softball program stresses, just due to the number of pitches that she saw, and that's going to be swung through. But that's something that the coaches have instilled to try to give a new sense of success to the players instead of just looking at traditional measuring stick such as batting average.
It looks like these Valor hitters are swinging over a lot of
Yeah, it seems like she
Cheyenne
has
Mountains pitches.
they're
They're on time with it. They're all timing the pitches well, but they're swinging right over them. So I'm wondering if there's a little bit of a drop or some sharp cut to her pitches.
And that's swung through.
We see it again. She's right on time, but just swings over it.
So that's, I think, a 3-pitch strikeout. So now 2 outs is Atkins is coming back strong here.
Brings
And
up the designated player, number 21, Morgan Patrone.
the,
Acts just like a designated hitter.
just with a different name.
Not entirely sure why that is.
And she has a lot of power for Valor Christian.
She comes into this game with 3 home runs on the season.
And 2 of those have come during VSN broadcasts, so she seems to like the cameras.
All 3 of those actually have. She went back-to-back in one of the first games of the season, and then last game hit one as well to straightaway center field. She fouls this one straight back to bring the count to 1-2.
So finds herself again in a pitcher's count. So Atkins has done a good job over the last 2 batters to get herself up, and we'll see what Patrone does. And that's inside. And the catcher held it for a little bit looking for a call, but 2-2-2 here, Valor Christian leading. And that's grounded towards the third baseman, and she'll go to first with it. So Patrone is retired, and Valor Christian is done, but they score 1 run in this half inning, and now we'll send it down to Chris Jackson with some velocity updates.
After the inning, the visitor pitcher threw a high of 59 miles per hour, a low of 41, and an average of 56. Back to you guys.
And we're back here ready for the start of the second inning. Valor Christian scored 1 on the pass ball, and Omen scampered on home. So Valor Christian leads 1-0 over the Cheyenne Mountain Indians, and up for them is number 22. Excuse me, number 35?
That's Shea Killiman, the left fielder. We see a strike here from Kinder as she looks like she's appearing to settle in a little bit here, starting to find the strike zone, which will be big for her. Walks really hurt in this game as the bases are so short that it's hard to throw out base runners. So it's easy to move runners into scoring position, especially this Cheyenne Mountain team that is so effective at stealing bases.
So the second pitch is low for a ball. Third one is going to be just outside. Oh, excuse me, that's in there for a strike. Seemed like she caught a little bit of the corner. So Kinder is in a good pitcher's count here, and we'll see a little bit of off speed. We see Barry catching up low and outside, and that's going to be strike 3 for the punch out. And Kinder is doing a great job.
Beautiful pitch on the outside block there from Kinder. Right at the knees, right on the outside, an almost unhittable pitch as Killiman will just have to walk back to the dugout. Not much she could do with that one.
Yeah, great pitch. Kinder has really come alive through the last 3 hitters, from the first inning and now into this, and that'll be up. Might have jinxed her a little bit.
Yeah, you really have a knack for doing that.
Good pitch there that swung through.
Another good pitch right at the knees. Hitter has to try to go down and get it, but has no chance. And correction, sorry, the last hitter was Caitlin Montoya, number 7, as we now see number 35, Shay Killiman at the plate.
And that pitch will be high as well. That's one area where she's missed pretty consistently. She's elevated a few pitches.
As a pitcher, when you're missing, you don't want to be missing up, because if you exaggerate to miss up, it's not that bad. It's just a ball. But if you miss up in the zone, that's a pitch that a hitter can really drive. So when you're a pitcher, you want to be either missing low or right on the outsides of the plate. It's not a good thing to be missing high like that. But it hasn't hurt her too much so far.
Kinder finds the plate on that pitch, so 2-2 on Montoya, and swung through on the third one. So Kinder is continuing to do a great job with these Cheyenne Mountain hitters.
It's her second strikeout of the inning here and her 5th of the game.
And that is swung through as well. They've done that consistently so far. Have yet to really connect with the ball or put it in play, actually.
They haven't even put a ball in play here, as we've seen foul balls, but no, they're hardly making contact.
And that's
any hitters that have been on she's walked.
So she's done a good job changing her looks to consistently keep the Cheyenne Mountain hitters on the edge, and that's going to be foul ball.
It would be a good idea for Zanny to really start throwing strikes here, as these Cheyenne Mountain hitters have not connected yet. Really needs to start getting it across the plate and see if she can make these Cheyenne hitters do their job.
So strike 3, and she strikes out the side once again. So Zanny,
Alexandra Zanny
is doing a great job so far for Valor Christian. They lead 1-0 after 1.5 innings here on the Valor Sports Network. We are back here on the Valor Sports Network. We're going to see Hallie Murray lead off for Valor Christian. She's the catcher, done a great job behind the dish so far.
Murray comes into the game batting .256, so a decent batting average from the catcher spot. You look for mostly defensive prowess from your catcher.
And she was off the bag, but just managed to get her foot back on it. So 1 out in the bottom of the second. And McKenna Roth, the center fielder, speedy, will come up to hit. And Roth has done a pretty good job so far this year.
She's hitting .278, but she's also a pretty prolific base stealer as she's stolen 6 on the season in 6 attempts.
She also does a great job defensively in center fielder, as well as just being a general leader, especially within the outfield, but also within the program as a whole.
Decent production from the 7-hole as she's got 14 RBIs on the season.
Talking to her, I know she hasn't, this hasn't really performed exactly how she wanted this year, but she still recognizes that she's just, got to go out there every day and keep working and try to get better. And, got 2 more years to really be the great player that she knows she can be. And unfortunately, she strikes out there.
That brings up number 9, Emily Carlson.
A junior. And Adkins will put a strike down the middle there, but Carlson is on it and fouls it back. And that's gonna cause some shuffling with the catcher's gear. But 0-1 on Carlson with 2 outs. We'll see if she can get Valor Christian some production here in the second inning. And that's ball 1. So 1-1 now.
Carlson looking to get it started here for the Eagles. Not exactly the second inning they were looking for, looking to maybe put some runs up. So we'll see if they can at least lengthen this inning, stretch it out a little, see if they can get some runners on base.
Try to win an inning. Something that's talked about again within both the softball and the baseball program. If you win, divide the games up, as that's going to be an extra bases to the gap. Rolls all the way to the wall, and she could find herself on 3, but I believe they'll have her hold up on 2. Great throw in from the outfield all the way to second.
A nice opposite field swing there from Carlson as she just sits back, lets that ball get deep, and drives it into the gap in right center field.
But to continue on the concept of winning innings, it's just about dividing the game into smaller portions and win each facet of the game, and then eventually that'll come together.
Obviously, if you win each inning, you win the game. So it's a big stress at Valor Christian.
And now Dominique Schell's a freshman playing right field today. Up to play, and she'll lay down a bunt with 2 outs. But that'll unfortunately go foul. A little too much to the third base side. So hopefully she can find a way to bring Carlson in.
That double there from Carlson was huge to get herself into scoring position with 2 outs, really try to make something of this inning after the slow start.
Schell swings through that, so now 0-2. And we'll see if she can try to keep this alive. And unfortunately, she'll swing through it again. So Valor Christian scores no runs on 1 hit in the second, or the bottom of the second here on the Valor Sports Network. We are back here at the top of the third inning here from Valor Christian. Beautiful day for softball.
Yeah, lovely fall day. It's been a little bit overcast here lately, but I'm comfortable out here in the shorts and a t-shirt today, so very nice.
Yeah, great weather for softball, and this is a big game for both teams, as we've mentioned multiple times throughout the broadcast. And that is connected with, but foul. Roberts over near the fence trying to make a play on it.
Good effort from Roberts, but just over the tip of her outstretched glove.
And Kinder has been on today. And we'll
Sure,
see.
she has struck out the side in both of the first 2 innings.
And we'll see what she can do here. Up to bat for the Cheyenne Mountain Indians is the shortstop and their leader in terms of batting average, but she'll fly out.
Nice catch by Jordy Roberts there in foul territory, charging in on the short pop-up.
And that's Bridget Gleason that flies out.
So that brings up to the plate her sister, we assume, number 1, Catherine Gleason, doing the catching.
The 2-hole. So the second time around, we'll see what the Indians can do.
That was the first hitter to put a ball in play against Kinder, and it wasn't.
And this is going to be hit at shells, and she'll let it bounce. So that is the first hit of the day for the Cheyenne Mountain Indians. And that was the one that was really connected. The last one was a little bit foul. It was the first one that was really playable, though.
So Cheyenne Mountain tries to get something going here with 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning.
And the Indians have done a great job so far defensively for the most part, except for a little bit in the first inning where the pass ball, allowed Valor to score a run. But other than that, they've done a good job in terms of defense as well as pitching. But we'll see if they can try to get something going on the offensive end. And that swung through. That is something that they have done a lot today, is swing through pitches.
Sure, a lot of swinging misses from both sides. We see a lot of Valor Eagles swinging over Atkins pitches, but the same thing here from Kinder is she's getting a lot of these hitters swing through her pitches, which is a good sign of some good break and some cut on your pitches, is if you get a lot of swings and misses.
So 0-2 here. She's up on number 12, Aspen Adkins, who has 8 home runs on the year, as well as hitting .371, so she's done a good job. And they're going to swipe second.
Looks like there might have been a tag down, but she got in just ahead of it.
Yeah, that was a close play.
A good throw there from Murray,
as well
doing the catching for Valor.
Good job of the middle infielders to get over there and cover the bag.
So we see a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning for the Cheyenne Mountain.
And Adkins will let that pitch pass inside, and she'll head down to first base. So now they have 2 runners on. And the 4-hole hitter.
That is Kinder's 4th walk on the day in 3 innings. She also has 6 strikeouts.
It just shows that she has great stuff, and if it's working in the zone, it gets people out. But at the same time, it's hard to find a groove, and once she starts missing, she can lead to some walks. And that'll be up again. Cockrill is a freshman hitting .404.
We have a very impressive crowd here today, as well as the stands are lined with fans. Nice turnout here, good for the girls, getting some support from the fans.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest game in terms of the program's history, is a chance to make it to the playoffs for the first time. And that's a strike.
Brings the count to 1-1 with 1 out here. Runners on first and second.
And that's hit towards center field. And McKenna Roth makes a diving play on it, but it's going to actually fall, but she'll easily throw someone out at third, so not really too much damage done there.
Good job by
and
Roth.
And now they're going to get
collected.
someone at second because she didn't quite understand what was going on. I don't think the Cheyenne Mountain coaches really understood what was going on, particularly the first base coach.
It looked at first like Roth made the catch, but then the umpire signaled that the ball dropped and it was a trap, and Roth just came up firing and easily got the runner at third. And then the runner at second had gone back to tag up at first, thinking that the ball was caught. And then
she was thrown out.
Kendra Henneman threw the ball to second base to record the second out for the double play.
Yeah, from our angle behind McKenna Roth out in center field, I could see a little bit that the ball ended up dropping. But it turned out in a double play, so probably the desirable outcome. We'll be back here on the Valor Sports Network. And we are ready to get underway here midway through the third inning. Valor Christian will have Kendall Ullman up to bat, the leadoff hitter. I'm Landon Troca beside Matt Fontenot. Valor has a 1-0 lead so far against the Cheyenne Mountain Indians.
Both pitchers doing a good job getting hitters out. But Valor's done a good job stringing together a couple hits, and pass ball there allowed him to punch in that first run.
That ball, that'll be a ball on Kendall Ullman. She's done a great job really in all facets of the game. You know, defensively, base running, hitting. She's really done it all so far, and only a sophomore.
Yeah, this Valor team's pretty young. Graduating only 3 seniors this year, one of which hardly played at all. That's Rachel Bruns, hardly played at all this year due to injury. As that drops in for she'll try to stretch it to 2, and she will for a double there for Ullman.
Almost was caught in a little bit of a pickle, but the second baseman couldn't quite handle it. I think that's their designated player. That's number 22, who we don't have on, that's Montoya. And that first pitch against Shelby Mann will be in there for a strike.
Good job, good aggressive base running there by Ullman to start this inning out with a runner in scoring position. With nobody out and the bunt down there.
Oh, that's a good bunt.
By Mann, and she'll be safe on the overthrow, and the run will score.
And then she'll take second. The center fielder covering there, and that's the second time in as many plays that Montoya let a ball kind of skip off the top of her glove. So senior Roberts ready to
good display of sportsmanship there too on the overthrow. As Mann checks on the center fielder, make sure she's all right.
Grounded towards first here, and Gleason sends it across the diamond. And
really fired that one across. Looks like she got something behind that. Had to make a quick throw across, but makes a good play.
Mann advances on the throw, though. So now a runner at third with 1 out for Kinder. See if she can add on to her own cause.
Sure, help herself out a little bit here. Already up 2-0, but with a runner on third base here and 1 out, see if she can punch another one across.
That's fouled back. Kinder is just done an exceptional job as a freshman. And she will foul another one back. She's hit .407 so far this year with a home run, 5 triples, and 4 doubles. As well
Making
as
that even more impressive, though, is the fact that she's also the ace of the team, making 13 appearances thus far, and she has a 2.19 ERA, which is very impressive.
also leads the teams in RBIs. But, coming from the 4-hole, that's exactly what you want out of her. You want her to have the power to bring in some runs for you, and that pitch from Atkins will be low. So we should be seeing a 1-1 count. That pitch is also low. 3-2 count now. Have it right on your screen. The scoreboard, unfortunately, was incorrect. And we will continue to see Valor Christian try to work here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And hopefully they can bring in Mann, who's standing on third right now. Oh, Kinder swings through that pitch, so strike 3.
A good pitch there right at the knees as Kinder does her best with it, but nothing she can really do. She just trots back to the dugout, gets ready to throw this next inning.
Patron struck out in her first at bat.
That ball's fouled back off the catcher's mask.
Again, with Mann on third, you really don't want to strand her there. You want to do anything you can to try to bring her around. And Patron leaves that pitch, and it's outside.
Nope, that will be a strike, actually, as it just paints the outside black.
Patron right on that pitch. It goes directly back.
Swings just under it, fouls it back off the screen. Good swing there from Patron. You see that the power that she brings to the plate leads the team in home runs.
Yeah, developing in the next year and then the year beyond that, as she is only a sophomore, she will definitely have a chance to just be a huge power hitter.
Good battle here as she fouls off another pitch to stay alive. Again, trying to see as many pitches as you can.
Get deep in those at bats and make the pitcher work. And she fouls one more off.
She appears to be right on it, swinging just under, so she's got her timing down, and it's just a matter of time before she squares something up here.
And that's going to be hit right back into the center field, and the center fielder had a shift on. She'll miss that, and that goes to the wall, so she's going to make her way to second base. As that throw will go to the first baseman who's backing up the second baseman.
An RBI double there from Patron.
A great job of working with that 0-2 count.
Just what the Eagles were looking for here, trying to push that run across, and now another runner in scoring position with 2 outs as
Murray, I believe.
Yeah, catcher Hallie Murray comes to the plate.
So Valor Christian 3-0 so far. That pitch will go for a ball. Murray also only a sophomore. And she'll foul that off back into the right, or excuse me, the left.
Like we said, Murray with some decent production from the catcher spot, batting .256. 12 RBIs on the season. We'll see if she can expand that to 13 here and expand the Eagles' lead to 4.
Trying to bring Patrone around from second, who just had an RBI double. It was hit hard up the middle as the center fielder was playing a little bit of a shift towards right field.
Patrone will most likely try to score on a single here with 2 outs.
Oh, and she gets Murray on that pitch to end this inning. And we will be back on the Valor Sports Network. And we're back here, top of the 4th inning. Kinder done a great job so far, only allowing 1 hit. Had a little bit of trouble with walks, but
She settled in and went 3 up, 3 down in the second.
a little bit more trouble in the third, allowed a hit. But other than that, she's still just been doing a great job.
Hasn't allowed a run yet here today as the score is 3-0.
And now she'll go up 0-2. And we saw the Cheyenne Mountain coach, trying to fire up his team, trying to get them to realize that, this is a real big situation and they're going to need a win to get in. But unfortunately, they're not seeing a lot of success.
Andy Stempel strikes out there and heads back to the dugout, which brings up number 6, Kia Fields, the right fielder.
So 7 strikeouts through 10 outs so far, so Kinder doing a great job in the circle.
You see a little bit some control issues, but the stuff is definitely there as a ton of hitters swinging and missing.
Yeah, she's done a great job using their screwball and her curveball to her advantage, and that'll bounce in for a ball. But 0-2, not a terrible pitch. One here. Kinder will throw that low. So now 2-1, for number 8 or 6. That's Fields.
We have she comes into this game batting .317 on the season as a senior, so pretty good number there.
And
she's 2-2 here.
that'll be outside. So 3-2 now, and this very well could be her last game, which is something that both teams are facing. You see that in Valor seniors as well as Cheyenne Mountain, and I see as we get into the later innings, as she puts that one through to the left side, through the hole on the left side of the infield, and it'll be fielded by Carlson in left field, but she'll be aboard safely. But as this game progresses, we'll start to see a little bit more of a urgency out of both sides as they kind of realize that this game means a whole lot.
Sure, a lot to play for here. As some of these girls, this could be their last softball game ever, and they're looking to extend this season and maybe make a run in the playoffs. And this game has huge implications as far as that goes. So we'll see a lot of heart from these girls today.
And that's going to be hit hard to the gap and very well could score one, depending on the speed out of Fields as it's fielded by Roth, and she'll throw to third. So second and third now as the run couldn't score from first. Good job by Roth to relay that in, but Cheyenne Mountain with a great opportunity to put up some runs here.
We see now number 7, Caitlin Montoya, the second baseman, come to the plate for Cheyenne Mountain. As that ball is at the knees for a strike. So she'll be 0-1 here with runners on second and third. Oh, pardon me, this is number 35, Shay Killiman.
And she has an opportunity to bring in 2 runs and put Cheyenne Mountain right back into the thick of the game. She has 1 RBI so far. On the season. And that's going to be strike 3 on her. And now Kender is 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
That brings number 3, Natalie Divany, the center fielder, to the plate. She's having a pretty good season, coming into the game at .364.
And she's going to hit it back up the middle, and there's a chance to score 2. Roth is going to relay home, but they're going to hold the runner at third.
That brings the score here to 3-1. First run allowed by Kinder on the day. As the RBI single gives us runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
So Cheyenne Mountain making some noise here, and they still have a runner in scoring position with runners on the corners, and the top of their lineup, their best hitter up in Gleason. And we'll see if she can do something here for the Indians. Kinder hoping to strike Gleason out once again. Or Gleason. I believe Gleason has 1 strikeout today as well as a fly out. And that's going to be hit hard to the gap, and that's at least going to score 1. Is they're going to send number 3 all the way to the third.
Great job there by Roth, cutting that ball off in the gap and not letting it go, and keeping that runner on third. And Gleason stands up at second with a double, with an RBI, moving the runner to third as well.
So that will inch the Indians closer here in this 3rd inning, and they have apparently responded well to their coaches talking between innings.
So we see the deficit here cut to just 1 as we see 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs, and we see the older Gleason sister, Catherine, come to the plate now with 2 in scoring position. See if she can strike here and put the Indians ahead.
Yeah, right now the momentum is shifting all the way to back Cheyenne Mountain's way, and if they get a lead here, Valor Christian with its young team might find itself in a tough spot. 0-1 here. Kender sends the pitch, and that's going to be grounded towards third base, fielded, and sent towards Roberts, and she drops it out of her gloves, picks it up with her hand.
Great athletic play by Roberts there. She stretches out and misses the initial catch, but has time to collect herself and grab the ball before the runner reaches first. And now, in between innings, we'll send it down and get the pitch speed from our guy behind the plate.
And he threw a heck of an inning with a high of 59 miles per hour, a low of 40, and then an average of 53. Back to you guys.
So we'd like to thank Chris Jackson for that update with the radar gun down behind the plate. We'll be back in the bottom of the second. Valor Christian leads 3-2 here on the Valor Sports Network. And we are back here on the Valor Sports Network as McKenna Roth will be at the plate for the Eagles, trying to respond after Cheyenne Mountains puts up 2 in the top of the inning.
Looked like she was going to square to bunt there, but pulled it back for ball one. Or, pardon me, strike one. Nope, ball one. Scoreboard was a little faulty there.
And that's going to be strike one. Good pitch there. Roth watches it, so 1-1. Oh, and it's going to bounce off the center fielder and be down, so Roth will be aboard after the air. So that hit the center fielder in the chest.
That ball looked like it was going to be caught, but just got in on her body and then fell to the turf.
She's had a tough time kind of keeping balls in front of her, especially when they're on the ground. And there, she couldn't really bring that in as the umpires talking to each other a little bit to give her a moment to rest.
She's going to stay on the field. She looks like she's in a little bit of pain, but she's going to tough through it.
Coach giving her some encouragement. And now Emily Carlson will try to do something with a runner aboard and no one out. And Roth is going to head towards second on the hit and run, but that's going to be a fly out to the pitcher, and now it's a race back to first. But luckily, we see Roth using her center fielder speed to get back to first base, as the second baseman, the pitcher, and the first baseman all kind of converged on that, so nobody was home at first, so it allowed Roth to get back.
So we see Dominique Schell step to the plate now, struggling a little bit so far this season, but she's kind of hit her stride late in the season as she squares to bunt, and Roth is going to take two on the pitch.
Ooh!
She slides in safely, avoids the tag.
She looked out from here, and all of the Cheyenne Mountain players thought she was out. And now the coach is probably going to go out and have a word with the umpire, and can't be sure if Roth, somehow avoided the avoided the tag there. We'll see what he has to say.
We don't have the best angle as we're here in center field behind. And Roth was actually in between us and the bag, so it was a little bit difficult for us to see, but it appeared that the ball beat her.
And they're going to talk to the field umpire talk to the home umpire, and I wouldn't be surprised if the home umpire changes this, but nope, she's going to agree with them. And
looks like it was just a good slide there by Roth to get in under the tag.
But so she is safely on second, and we'll see if Shells can bring her around and expand the Valor Christian lead here in the bottom of the fourth. And she's going to square to bunt again and let it go.
Catcher throws in an arm fake there, and that ball goes into center field, and Roth will try for third.
And she'll be there safely. Great heads-up base running from the sophomore. And so this game's getting a little bit chippy, or at least amongst the Cheyenne Mountain players and themselves, as we saw a little bit of displeasure out of Bridget Gleason in the shortstop position. And you can see it in her body language. She is not happy.
Attitudey Judy with her arms crossed.
And Shells finds herself in a 1-1 count. Big hole up the middle, but she lays down a bunt and goes back into the catcher, so now 1-2.
So we probably will not see Shells square to bunt again. With one out here, we'll try to see her maybe get something on the ground to the right side, see if she can drive this run in.
Yeah, it would be a great job. Oh, she hits that hard, and that's going to be fouled onto the baseball field.
Just behind that pitch as she squares it up off to the right on the first base side.
And that pitch will be outside. That was right there on the edge. Shells there. Ooh, hit hard down the line, but foul, unfortunately, probably by just a few feet. Can't say for sure, but it was close from our angle. So Shell's doing a good job of fighting up there. And she's going to hit it towards the first baseman, but again, foul.
Good battle here again from Shells. Trying to see pitches as she gets really deep in this count, 2-2 here. And she's gradually working her way towards the field, and eventually she'll square something up if she gets another pitch to hit.
And she will be unable to put that in play, but doing a great job. She's all over Atkins at the pitching position.
Pitch count not quite as important in softball as it is in baseball, as the pitchers are able to throw a lot more pitches, but still you want to make pitchers throw as many pitches as possible.
And that's going to be strike three on Shells.
A good pitch there, a pitcher's pitch, right at the knees on the outside corner.
But Kendall Oman has a chance to bring Roth in from third, and you want to get a run this inning. So we'll see what Oman does. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt maybe. They tried to bunt with 2 outs earlier in the game.
Especially with that speed in the leadoff spot here. All she has to do is get a ball on the ground, and
she's going to slap that, but it's going to be handled easily by the pitcher Adkins. So Valor Christian adds on no runs here, and they are down, they are up, 3-2 as we head into the top of the 5th inning here on the Valor Sports Network. just about ready to get underway. Is Valor Christian holding on to a one-run lead, but Cheyenne Mountain has a bit of momentum coming into this top of the 5th inning. And to give you an update on the state golf tournament going on in Montrose, beautiful town over on the western slope, Valor Christian pushed with Pueblo South after the first playoff hole, so they are now on to the second one. And that is going to be ball 1.
To the pitcher here, Aspen Atkins, number 12.
Got a lot of power, too. 8 home runs.
I'm not sure how Cheyenne Mountain softball field is configured, but their baseball field is really kind of a bandbox, a really small field, allowing players to hit a lot of home runs. I'm wondering if their softball field is kind of the same way, because 8 home runs on the season is really an impressive number.
Yeah, we'll see if she can hit something with some power here. And she swings through another one of Kinder's pitches. And she is ready here, 2-1. And that is through. So again, swinging through another pitch. She being Kinder has done a great job of the entire, through the entire afternoon of getting hitters to swing and miss. Her swing and miss percentage is just off the charts.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job of that. Really, her stuff is on. And she's just missed a couple times, and she's had a little bit of trouble with control. But you see the strikeouts climbing, and really an impressive number on the day.
And that's strike 3 right there. And she has kind of settled down, with in terms of the control. Hasn't walked too many folks recently.
So we see 1 out now in the top of the 5th inning, and that brings to the plate number 31, Madeline Cockrell.
Cockrell is a freshman in the 4-hole, and she is going to check her swing, but it'll be a strike nonetheless. I'd like to apologize for the crumpling in the background. And here's pitch number 2, and that's going to be right at the knees. Oh, and Kinder does not get the call. And now she looks over the scoreboard trying to get a hold on what the count is. And that pitch will be low and skip in.
That brings the count to 2-1.
Oh, a good pitch, but that's going to be either up or outside.
So 3-1 here to Cockrell, a good hitting count. She'll probably see something she can get a hold of here from Kinder.
And this is going to be hit hard at Shells, but she's going to make a catch.
Great sliding catch there from the freshman Dominique Shells.
Yeah, did a good job on her knees. To go and get that. She almost seemed like she should have turned her glove over, kind of caught it to without really getting under it. But regardless, the catch is recorded from her knees, so
she flashes the leather and shows why she's out here playing every day for the Eagles. A great catch there.
And that'll be a strike. So Kinder is starting to hit her stride late in this game in the top of the 5th. And softball is a 6-inning game. Something that's kind of interesting about softball, at least in the state of Colorado, is they do have ties.
Yep, if the game is tied at the end of 6, that's the end. They just go home.
Both teams have a tie on the year. And we're going to see Kinder deliver a pitch high and swung through for 2-2-2. And that again will be high. So now full count.
So we see a full count here, and 2 outs. We'll see the payoff pitch here from Kinder.
And that's going to be high and out, and she'll walk Stemple.
And that brings to the plate
Fields, I believe.
number 6, Kia Fields.
So Kinder would do herself a big favor by getting Fields out here and kind of stopping any chance of some runs for the Indians.
Fields a pretty good hitter, hitting .317 on the season. So she'll be trying to get something in a gap here and maybe get something going this inning and tie the score up for Cheyenne Mountain.
First pitch is a strike. Second one's hit at Omen. She goes across the diamond a little bit low, but controlled by Roberts for the 3rd out of the inning. Going into the bottom of the 5th, Valor Christian 3, Cheyenne Mountain 2. Shelby Mann up to hit for Valor Christian to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Valor Christian leading 3-2 here in the play-in game.
And to clarify that, it's not necessarily technically a playing game, but a de facto playing game here is with whichever team loses is essentially out of the playoff race. So this is just a regular season game, but huge playoff implications.
Yeah, just kind of de facto playing because the team that loses is going to have a tough time making the playoffs. And it's interesting because softball in Colorado, they use it max preps rankings to decide who gets into the playoffs, excluding the teams with automatic berths, and that's a fly out. And in center field now is number 6 Fields. She switched with number 3 Deviney.
Sure, some leagues get either 1 or 2 automatic bids. It depends on the league, but now after that, the at-large bids are decided by a formula on max preps. As that ball's fouled away down the right field line by Roberts.
So Roberts is going to see that pass in there for a strike, and now she's down 0-2. And that pitch will be in there for strike 3, and Roberts is retired.
A good pitch there on the punch out. And just paints the outside corner. Hard to hit. So that will bring to the plate number 14, Zanny Kinder, the pitcher. And she's pitching very well on the day. Giving up 2 runs through the first 5 innings. As that pitch misses low to bring it to 1-0 with nobody on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
So this, or the top of the 5th. Or excuse me, yeah, you're right, the bottom of the 5th inning. So Valor Christian would do themselves a favor to add on some runs here, but all they have to do is hold Cheyenne Mountain next inning, and they will come out on top. Ooh, that pitch is hit.
Good swing there. She was
But,
right on it, just right over the top there.
Yeah, fouled it off a little bit, I think. Heard a little bit of contact.
That brings it to 2-2-2.
And that's going to be strike 3 on her. So Atkins comes out and does a good job to send Valor Christian down 1-2-3. Cheyenne Mountain with its last chance coming up here on the Valor Sports Network. Hey, hang out. We are ready now. Kinder is 1, 2, 3 outs away from sending Valor Christian likely to the playoffs, barring, an extraordinary series of events.
Not that extraordinary, as Cheyenne Mountain only needs 1 run to tie the game.
In terms of winning the game, it would be hard for them to not find themselves in the playoffs.
Good pitch there by Kinder. Paints the outside corner.
And Valor Christian will have, another at bat if they were to lose the lead here, or if Cheyenne Mountain were to tie it. And for Cheyenne Mountain, you have the bottom of the order.
You have number 22, Caitlin Montoya, at the plate right now. She's the 7-hole hitter. And after her, you have Shea Killiman, the 8-hole, and the 9-hole, Natalie Divany. So
2-1.
Sandy Kinder in a good position here to try to get 3 outs and send the Eagles to the playoffs.
And that's going to be grounded towards the third baseman. Hanneman fields it and throws it over to Roberts for the first out.
Good strong throw across the diamond by Hanneman, a clean play. As the first out of this inning is recorded. And number 35, Shea Killiman, comes to the plate. Number 27 comes to the plate. That is
Number 7.
Number 7 comes to the plate, pardon me.
I think she might. We
She's
don't have her
not
on our
listed
roster.
on the roster.
And that'll be ball 1. Excuse me. Yeah, ball 1 for a 1-1 count. Kinder delivers, and that's going to be fouled back. So 1-2.
So likely not going to get anything too good to hit here from Kinder. She's ahead 1-2 in the count. So she's likely going to try to put her away here on this pitch.
And she'll go high and get her there.
Fantastic job by Kinder changing eye levels again, getting her with the high fastball, and she just swings right through that as she tries to chase.
So she is 1 out away.
Dude, you can't count out. You can't do it. 6 inning game. That brings to the plate number 3, Natalie Divany, the 9-hole hitter, with Cheyenne Mountain's last chance here. They're down to their last out.
And that first pitch comes in low.
So Divany's ahead in the count, 1-0.
That'll be high.
Not sure why Kinder's nibbling here. She should probably just go right at this hitter as she's the 9-hole. Generally one of the weaker hitters on the team. You generally want to throw strikes to this hitter and try to get them out, make them hit the ball.
And that third pitch will be in there for a strike. So 2-1, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Valor Christian leading the Cheyenne Mountain Indians 3-2. The pitch from Kinder will be swung through once again by a Cheyenne Mountain hitter.
That brings the count to 2-2 here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. And Cheyenne Mountain is down to their last strike.
And that'll be outside, and she'll foul it off. Or they're going to say that's a pass ball, but she'll run through and be safe. So they will have one more opportunity here. Kind of got away with one there. I guess they're going to say that.
That was a drop third strike there. So that'll bring up Bridget Gleason to the plate, one of the probably the best hitter on this Cheyenne Mountain team. And
Coach
now a little glimmer of hope for this Cheyenne Mountain team, as they were down to their last strike just now, but now with Gleason coming to the plate, pretty good opportunity here to see if they can punch a run across.
Coach Gillette went out there and kind of looked for a little bit of clarification from the umpire.
It appeared that the pitch was fouled off.
Yeah, especially with the angle it took away from the catcher. But this is going to be hit right back at Kinder.
And the Eagles are going to the playoffs.
So that'll be the game.
And the Eagles will now find themselves with most likely a playoff berth. This was kind of a do-or-die game for them. And they come out with a 3-2 victory over Cheyenne Mountain.
Coming out to play again. What's going on?
And
I don't know if you understand that. Where we are now is on the bottom, so you see kind of how they already killed us. Well, then why did they just hit? Yeah. In which case, we'll be back here on the Valor Sports Network.
And we're really sorry about that. Some clarification here. They actually play 7 innings. So we will see them play one more here as the Valor Eagles come to the plate. And the first hitter here in this inning will be the designated player, Morgan Patrone.
So again, we apologize for that. So Patrone swings through that first pitch, but still a great opportunity for Valor Christian to add on to its lead. And that's going to be hit far and out.
That ball was
Absolutely
well
destroyed.
struck as that sailed far over the fence to widen the margin to 4-2 in the favor of the Valor Christian Eagles as Patron just sat back on that one and drove that ball well over the fence in left center field.
Yeah, that was hit high and deep. So Valor Christian does a good job to build some momentum here and add on to its lead.
That's big. That gives them a little bit of wiggle room here. And that will bring to the plate Hallie Murray, the catcher.
And we'll see what she can do to try to keep this rally going. Good job of leading off the inning there, but always a plus to just keep adding on. And she's going to flare it over towards the left side of the infield, but caught there by Gleason.
She makes a nice play ranging back, catching that ball over her shoulder. Pretty athletic play. She robs Murray of a hit, which will bring to the plate sophomore McKenna Roth.
She reached on an error on the center fielder last at bat. The center fielder just kind of wore it off the chest. First pitch will be a ball. Oh, and that's going to be in there for a strike. Did a good job of getting that low in the zone. And that next pitch will be a little bit up and a little bit out. So 2-1. Roth, the center fielder, has made a couple plays out there today. That pitch is going to be low and in. So 3-1. Roth, one pitch away for finding herself aboard for the Valor Eagles.
Yeah, good count to work with here for Roth.
Yeah, going to see a hittable pitch, and that'll be high, and Roth will trot down to first base.
And she's always a threat to move herself up, too, with 6 stolen bases on the season. She's second on the team in that category behind Omen. And that brings up Emily Carlson, the junior.
Junior left fielder. Working through the bottom of the order for Valor Christian, is that's going to be a first pitch strike. Again, kind of the same pitch we saw the strike on. That's McKenna Roth. Kind of a similar pitch right there at the knees. Kind of has a little bit of drop motion, and the same pitch is going to be fouled off by Carlson. Roth went towards second, but going to have to trot back.
A lot of times when you see that ball in the dirt, you read the downward angle, you try to take that base ahead of you. But Carlson just got a piece of it there, so Roth has to go back as that pitch misses high to bring the count to 1-2.
A little bit harder for softball players to read the downward angle just because of how the ball comes out of the pitcher's hands. With baseball, you can kind of just see the trajectory, just not going to quite make it to the catcher, but with softball, just the low angle makes it a little bit harder to read.
Good job there. Carlson poking that ball through the right side for a single. And that moves Roth up to second base with 1 out. So we have runners on first and second, and Dominique Schell's coming to the plate.
Yeah, Valor Christian, even if they don't really add on anything besides the home run at the start of this inning by Patron, it still does take a lot of the wind out of Cheyenne Mountain Sales, just having a long inning and being out in the field for so long. That's going to be a bunt pulled back. So 1-0 here.
Saw Cheyenne Mountain kind of running that wheel play. Now you see the third baseman charging way in. And you see it's interesting because they bring in the center fielder then to cover second.
You know, they can do that.
In case of a back pick. So if Dominique Schell's here, pulls back perhaps for like a slash type play,
she could try.
They're in a very interesting defensive alignment with a lot of the field wide open.
She finds herself down 1-2, so she's going to have to take a swing here, and she'll do so, but foul it back and out of play.
Yeah, she finds herself in a hole here after attempting bunts on the first 2 pitches, and it's a little bit tough as a hitter, as now she has to pull the bat off her shoulder and take a swing here as the count evens to 2-2.
Had some good downward movement on the pitch, trying to get Shells to chase it. But she did a good job of holding back, and that's going to be inside and past the catcher.
Both runners will advance now. Second and third with 1 out, and Dominique Shells at the plate in the top of the 7th inning here or the bottom of the 6th for the Valor Eagles.
And that is going to be low for a ball. And to bring you some unfortunate news from Montrose, Valor Christian falls in the playoff by 1 stroke to the Pueblo South Colts. So Valor Christian, for the 2nd year in the row, will be the 4A state golf runner-up. So still a great season for them. Got a lot of good players, and they don't graduate too much. So expect another great year coming up next year for those golfers.
First pitch here to Kendall Oman is a strike inside. So she falls down. She goes down 0-1 with the bases loaded here.
Second one, she'll foul off. So now she's in a big hole with the bases loaded. But luckily, with her speed, they're not going to really be able to double her up.
Yeah, that's so if she gets she'll be trying to put a ball on the ground here, score a run. If she gets a ball up the middle here, because she's tough to double off.
And that is in the air, and that's going to go into no man's land, a little bit of Texas League, and they're going to have a tough time tracking that down in the outfield. And so that's going to score 2. And Oman on to second, so 2 runs added on. And that will bring the total to 6-2 Valor Christian. And Cheyenne Mountains now finding itself in a deeper and deeper hole.
Yeah, just a little blooper there, a little Texas Leaguer from Oman, just falls in between the left fielder and the shortstop there. And they have a little bit of trouble corralling it as Valor manages to score 2 and move both runners into scoring position now with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. And that brings to the plate Shelby Mann.
And she'll take ball 1 down in the dirt. Cheyenne Mountain still not out of trouble here. Runners on second and third with 1 down. Mann at the plate. Mann's hitting over 400 on the year.
418 on the season coming into today, so having a fantastic season.
And she'll hit that right at the third baseman, who will go across the diamond and get her. But Shells will go home and score.
And Oman will move up to third on the play following Shells. So now we see a runner on third with 2 outs here. And that widens the deficit here to 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. So a pretty deep hole here for Cheyenne Mountain to start to crawl out of in their next at-bat. So Valor really putting themselves in a good position to win this game.
Senior Jordy Roberts here. And that'll be low for a ball. That pitch is going to be high for ball 2, excuse me.
So 2-0 here to Mann.
So she's going to get a good pitch to hit. And Roberts hits that hard the other way, down towards the foul line. Oh, and a diving effort on the foul ball. Good effort there by number 3, Davini.
Yeah, that ball hooking away from her a little bit into foul territory. Well struck by Roberts as it carried towards the foul pole, but Davini looked like she was going to track it down there for a second, but couldn't quite make the catch.
So Roberts 2-1, still a good hitter's count. Now 3-1, even better hitter's count. And Oman will definitely be scoring on anything that gets past Gleason behind the plate.
Barring some kind of wild ricochet off that cement bottom, yeah, she'll score.
And this is going to be hit hard to center field, but Fields will track it down. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning So Valor Christian adds on 4 runs there in the bottom of the 6th. You're watching the Valor Sports Network. We are back here on the Valor Sports Network. Valor leads Cheyenne Mountain 7-2 here in the top of the 7th inning.
We see Gleason coming to the plate for Cheyenne Mountain, the catcher.
Zanny Kinder still in the circle for Valor Christian. And this is the heart of the Cheyenne Mountain order, but 5 runs down. This is a tough place to be in.
They need a big rally here, and it would be big for Kinder to record this first out and really kind of close the door a little bit on this game.
But first pitch will be low for a ball. That pitch will also go for a ball. Kinder look for a pretty good pitch to hit, and that's what it's going to be, but that's going to be a fly towards Shells, and she'll handle it. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Good job by Shells tracking that ball down in right field. And there will be 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning, the final inning of play here, as this is Cheyenne Mountain's last chance for real this time. We said that last time, but now we mean it.
April Fools.
Little casual April Fools in October. But we will see now at the plate
Atkins, the pitcher,
with 8 home runs on the season. So if there's anybody to get things going here, it's her. Put a little spark plug in this Cheyenne Mountain offense.
And she swings through that, so first pitch strike, and Kinder finds herself up. And that'll be up, so 1-1. That is one thing that going into the playoffs, Kinder can work on, is trying to keep pitches low in the zone and just low in general. She's had a lot of pitches sail high on her.
And they've almost all of them have been out of the zone, which if you're going to miss high, that's where you want to miss, because you don't want to leave it up inside the zone to where a hitter can drive a pitch. And you see a lot of pitches sailing high, but none missing high inside the zone, which is not exactly what you're looking for, but it's favorable to leaving pitches up in the zone.
And that's going to be a ball as well, so 3-1 to Atkins, and she could see a good pitch to hit.
Sure, a good count to hit in here for Atkins. And Kinder needs to be careful, as she's a big power hitter, and she'll just trot down to first with the walk, as Kinder kind of pitched around her a little bit there. Hate to get anything too big going with that big power hitter in the middle of their lineup. And that will bring up to the plate number 31, Madeline Cockrell.
The freshman finds herself in a big situation here.
And when you're in a big deficit like this, you just have to keep going.
And that's going to be hit long and over, so a 2-run home run for Cockrell here in the top of the 7th for the Indians. The freshman And she keeps them alive here in this game, brings it to 7-4. But the Indians still have some work to do, but
That is Madison Cockrell's
first of the year.
Madeline Cockrell's first home run of her career in high school, and that cuts the deficit to 7-4. So a 3-run deficit here now as she just pokes that one over the left field fence.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as high and long as we saw at a Patron, but it's over the fence, so it still counts.
That's generally how it works. You get it over, it's a home run. I mean,
but still a lot of work to be done for the Indians. But
that brings number 13 Stemple to the plate for the Indians. And a lot of times home runs kind of slow rallies down a little bit as it takes runners off the base paths. And see, they had a runner in scoring position there, and now they have to start clean, and we're getting towards the bottom of their order, so they'll see if they can get it going again here.
Stemple hitting .222 on the year. She's a senior, so she could be down to one of the last at-bats of her career, if not the last, depending on how the playoffs shake out. And she'll swing through that. Two, 1-1. And that'll be high, so 3-1. There's one thing Kinder needs to do to really slow the rally is get those strikes in there. It's better to let them beat you hitting the ball than just walk them around or give them the opportunity to put up runs.
You never want to just...
And that's going to be hit to the gap, and she'll have to hold up as one as Shells is there to relay it in.
And as I was saying, you never want to just give a free pass. You'd always rather allow something like that, maybe just a little Texas League base hit instead of a walk. You want to make them reach their way on base. You never want to just give them the free pass to first, as we see the coach coming out here to have a little chat with Kinder. I don't think she'll be coming out of the game, but maybe just calm her down a little bit, settle the nerves here in this last inning of this big game.
And now we see that huddle break up, and we'll see what Kinder can do. Double play opportunity here, although you do have some speed in the batter's box.
Number 6, Kia Fields coming up for Cheyenne Mountain.
The Indians have shown a good bit of resilience here in the final inning.
Yeah, and by no means have they rolled over at all. They've still kept fighting and trying to win this ball game. You see how much both of these teams want this.
And that is going to be high and out. And the throw down from Murray is not going to get there in time. And I don't know, that's kind of a risky throw in this situation, because if you overthrow it or if it bounces and Roberts can't handle it at first base, you give them the second for free, and now they're in scoring position. And that's going to be swung through as well. So again, we're seeing Kinder do a great job of getting hitters to swing through pitches.
Good job, again, changing eye levels, getting that fastball up above the hands, and it's really hard to catch up to when you get that fastball up there.
Now she's going to go inside, but it'll be fouled off.
She just rolls over that one to try to stay alive. And the count is 1-2 here to Fields.
Kendor brings it inside, and that's going to be strike 3 on Fields. So Cheyenne Mountain runner on first with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning.
And they're down to their last out now. With
And we'll see what they can do here to try to keep it alive, as Kinder will start it out with a strike. Exactly what you want to do in this situation. Go right out of after the hitter. A lot of pressure on the hitter here,
Do or die situation here for number 22, Caitlin Montoya. And this is a lot of pressure on a hitter here so late in this game with only 1 out left. And the best thing that Kinder can do here is just throw strikes and let Montoya try to make her way on base.
Yeah, all the pressure on the hitter because Kinder just needs to throw strikes. And even if they do hit it, she's got some runs to work with.
The worst thing that happens is she gives up a 2-run home run here. And even if that happens, they still have a run 1 lead. So Kinder really just wants to settle in. And now we see Montoya down to her last strike. So Kinder definitely wants to get this one over the plate and see if she can get Montoya here on this pitch. And
an interesting time for a conference between Murray and Kinder, but
I think with 2 strikes, they just want to get on the same page so Murray doesn't maybe get crossed up, maybe want to just agree definitely on what they're throwing, trying to get Montoya here and send the Eagles to the playoffs.
And that will be outside.
Looked like she painted that outside corner. That's been a strike all day.
Yeah, pretty good job framing it back there for Murray.
That ball was just outside as it's 2-2-2.
And that'll be in there and swung through for strike 3, and Valor Christian wins, and they will find themselves in the 4A state playoffs for the first time. Valor Christian wins 7-4 against the Cheyenne Mountain Indians here on the Valor Sports Network.